Welcome to the NHL 23 Game Modes Deep Dive. Let's start by talking franchise mode and the all-new custom leagues.
We're going to allow players to play with any number of teams, any number of games played, divisions, conferences, freely customize leagues to the rosters that they wanted to create or share with others. You can select anywhere from 6 to 48 teams, as well as any number of divisions and conferences within the number of teams that you have. So if you want a 48 team, 0 conferences, and 8 divisions setup, you can do that. The original 6 where they just play each other in the league, you can do that. You'll also have the ability to turn off what the minimum cap is. So if you're creating an era from the past, you can turn off the salary cap. But now we're also giving you the granularity of what's the max cap. Dynamic schedules will let you do anything from setting the number of round-robin rounds that you want to play. You can even set the number of division games, conference games, interdivision games, interconference games, depending on your league setup. And you can set those from anywhere from 20 to 84. You can set wins from anywhere from 1 to 4 points. You can change the points to losses, or you can change the format in which the playoffs are played. You can also set whether or not the wild card standings format is enabled. And we also have a new thing called the wild card round, which allows you to have a play-in round similar to the NHL bubble back in 2020. Depending on the number of rounds you've selected, you'll be able to change the number of games played in each of those rounds. We support 1 game, 3 games, 5 games, or 7 games, as well as a 2-game aggregate. So if you want to play a 7-game series where you play the first 3 games away and then the next 4 games at home, you can do that. If you want to play an alternating schedule, we allow you to do that as well. If you wanted to change the schedule for the AHL, you can do that. Everything you can do with the NHL schedule or playoff format or the league setup in general, you can do that. If a player this year creates a 48-team custom roster, you're able to go in and after downloading that roster sharing file, you'll go into custom leagues and then you can sub in all the teams that the player created if they're not NHL teams into franchise mode in custom leagues. And then you can recreate the league in whichever way you want to with those 48 teams. There's just so many cool things that our players did last year. We really wanted to give them the power to take the next step, having fun in franchise mode.
Our number one focus for World of Chel this year was the implementation of cross-platform matchmaking. When it arrives in November, PlayStation and Xbox players in the same console generation will be able to play against one another across all World of Chel online modes for the first time in franchise history. And now that our matchmaking pools are essentially doubled, you'll be spending less time in the queue and more time on the ice. The early prototype is promising, and we couldn't be more excited to implement this, as well as continue to work on connecting our players as best as possible. It's worth mentioning that cross-platform matchmaking is also completely optional and can be toggled on or off by all players. Because of the expanded matchmaking pools, we've updated our servers to better allocate to where our players are based and added a new server aimed at helping players in the central part of North America. One of the largest quality of life asks we get from our community is the ability to open hockey bags faster. This year, we've added the ability to go quickly from one bag to the other, allowing you to open them at a much faster pace than ever before. We've also added a dedicated strategy screen where you can access our new and existing strategies to fine-tune your team play. You'll also find a new wide range of customization options for your team and player. Based on your feedback last year, we've tuned the preset attributes on multiple classes to ensure balance. This includes increasing the starting attributes, giving you a higher starting overall to work with. We've also added additional loadout slots, giving you more flexibility and choice from game to game.
We understand that having to come into NHL and set your team up for each and every game in online versus, that's not where the fun lies. And we want players to get into that next experience, that next game as quickly as possible. So this year, we're giving you the ability to save your lines and strategies for online versus. This also partners well with the new strategies that we have in the feature set for 23. And it was important to us that we get this in the game, get you into every match as quickly as possible, remove the work, and let you have the fun that you've come to NHL for.